Drew Combs puts the boot into it. And from the 5, we are underway in the Mountain West. And a quick little slip. Well done. Things going with excellent field position. Play action early. And into the flat on time. Into TCU and Wilson have big play all over them. Johnson will stay on the ground. And that's where the 1st and 10. Johnson to throw. And away from his intended target for Brian Johnson, although Corbin Laux comes in there now and runs the veer for Mack. Mack shedding through some tacklers. Ultra important game in the Mountain West Conference for you on Versus tonight. Years of success, TCU's calling card has been speed. Speaking of which, here's that jet sweep. They are moving it efficiently after getting the good kickoff return to start the game. Mack twisting and turning the gun with 4 wide receivers. It's Darrell Mack. Utah trying to strike first. Brooks comes in motion. This looks like a reverse, but Brooks will keep it inside the 20, where he is going to be bear hugged and wrestled back by Brian Bonner. The ball bounces free. Former punter and kicker for the Utes. Johnson rolls, cuts it back, and then tucks it down inside the 15.
Now Darrell Mack can't match its speed on the outside. They use wide receivers instead.
Darrell Mack ran right into the open arms with respect to their survival in the chase for a conference crown. Ryan Johnson will keep it. Johnson will dash to the end zone. And 1st and goal for Utah. And the plunge. Looks to tack on the extra point. Running backs flanking him, and he'll roll to get things started. Launching this one over his intended target. With Walter Bryant suspended. Ground game here. And not going far. Aaron Brown. The other corner is leading them in INTs. Giannone hobbled on that ankle. That pass from Dalton is just off the hand for Utah. The dangerous Derek Richards. Into the wind. This one drags its tail.
A lot of different adjustments to get ready. It goes for both sides.
It's very true. Both coaches love the game plan. Ball for Kyle Whittingham. He watches his offense work here on 2nd and long. There's a flag down. Johnson snaps that pass low.
Legal formation offense.
How about that?
6 players on the line of scrimmage.
13 for Brian Johnson and the Utes. Out of the spread. Here comes that rocket screen across the field for. This is 3rd and 7 for Brian Johnson. Oh, big pressure, wrapped up and flung down to the 4th and long. That brings in Sakota. This is a line drive. Bonner leans into it and he gets
Kick, legal block in the back. Number 85 of the return team, 10-yard penalty.
It's a killer in a tight game.
Andy Dalton brings him up. Dalton runs Aaron Brown on the sweep. Brown with that tremendous speed driving home. He's the number 1 tackler again for the Utes. They run it straight ahead.
Offense.
4 wideouts in the pattern for Dalton. And he'll throw into the flat on time. Making the connection. 1st and 10 for Dalton. That ball's batted up in the air and nearly intercepted. Paul Kruger almost had his chance to go offensive.
Well, we know why he's a lineman. You saw his hands.
2nd and 10, they run the option. And that is play. Stay with us at the half. A special feature on the Utes' top tackler, who was in there again, deflected and picked off. Intercept.
Personal foul. Number 10 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. 1st down, Utah.
He'll come in. Ball's tipped. He's right there in center field position to grab that ball. That's what.
When Utah goes back to 1st and 10, TCU has been hurting itself with turnovers this season. On the screen, Baytown, Texas was not recruited by any of the Texas schools. Throws this one complete to Brooks. And Brooks talking about his team recently, 29, 27 1st downs. They've got 6 1st downs already. And Johnson's got a whole lot of real estate in front of him for more. Inside the 25, and then he'll,
as we call him,
for reasons you cannot explain on television, is Darrell. It's not used to. We're not used to seeing them in the last couple of years in the Mountain West give up big plays like this. We're used to seeing more of this. Pressure
Coming up, that Blake could be coming back after that.
Johnson throws and an acrobatic. Get the Utes into double digits here in the 1st quarter. Snaps good, holds good, and the kick is just on a Thursday night. This time for you with college football on Versus. Brown from the 4. Looks for a crack. Gets a small one. And then on the sideline, Turner is the eye back. Dalton to throw off the pump fake. Now he'll air it out down the middle. That's an easy one. That is an easy pick for.
He'll pump fake. It's a little stop and go to the outside. Center fielder Robert Johnson's playing it all the way. Again.
UNLV earlier in the year. He's going to need surgery in the offseason as the Utes go back to the action. Andy Dalton's had some issues with interceptions in quarter number one. Utah's
bust loose for Ader. They're leaving yards on the field right now. Utah is.
Third down and long. Johnson throws it out there. He's got a man and just off the face. Horned Frogs is waiting to get his clamps on it. Sakota had it blocked.
High in the air. Bounding down on the 30 and now picked up on the run.
And it's going to be a waltz to pay dirt. Game can change. And Ferdini, usual kickoff guy, so this may have a little wrinkle in it. It's a pooch kick. And just picked up there the last instant by Wesson, who twirls away from one as he tapped Glenn Parker upstairs. Tim Nevern on the sideline. All the men and women in our crew for versus college football. Johnson ripped down to the comes in. They put in a half dozen to a dozen plays for Laux during the week. This is 3rd and 12. Horned Frog fans.
Number 68 of the offense. 5-yard penalty.
1% for the Utes on the season. They're 4-3, these guys in white. Here comes TCU again, and Brian Johnson is going down to the 10 bun. The wind lies down for a moment. This one knuckles. Bonner from the 42 turns the corner inside the 40. Makes another head and shoulder fake. Ripped down to the turf of the 28. Making a move now, trying to reel in Utah, which was on top 10-0. This is a little trickery. A throwback pass to Dalton, who's waiting for it inside the 10. To the 5, he dives towards the pylon. He's going to be MVP quarterback of a season ago, so he knows how to throw it. As the Horned Frogs bash it in the check last week, coming from behind late against Stanford. Dalton goes to the ground game, rumbling in easy. That's a dead stop. And Ferdini again is going to hit it short. Taken by one of the upbacks. 23 years.
Right behind him at
4-31 last week against San Diego State. 3 straight games the Utes have won.
And a lot of those yards in the clutch. Brian Johnson. As Sakota puts the boot into this one, and this is a good one. Bonner shakes loose from one. Not going to get past the other, though. And the Horned Frogs have come back. Quarterback draw for Dalton, the redshirt freshman. And there's not a lot of running room there.
Personal foul. Number 93 of the defense, 15-yard penalty.
Now, Horned Frogs in the purple. Dalton puts it out there, juggled a bit, and lost. Is a landslide for Utah. On the comeback, a little misdirection for not. Brown's first 2 touchdowns of the season came last week. Late in the play clock, Dalton gets it off and slings that one.
Watch the people who watch football saying, hey, they got 9 returners on defense. They're dominant. Instead of thinking to themselves, they got a young off.
Kick catch, interference. Number 27 of the kicking team.
With college football on versus a Thursday night showdown in the Mountain West. Darrell Mack jumps back to the Mountain West games will be on television. As Johnson puts this one crisply out there in a little rocket. About 1. Utah is 3 for its first 8 on these conversion tries. Darrell Mack keeping his feet moving. A record 22 tackles. Utah won that ball game against San Diego State. Johnson finds the open man. This is 1st and 10 out of the gun. A short drop and a rope right there to Marquise Wilson. Johnson, who had the shoulder injury in week 1, hands off here, handing the TCU defense. Sets his feet, launched it to the corner, and good coverage. This Glenn, you know he wants to put on a good show. Corbin Laux will run it here. Laux not going to get battles in the Mountain West Conference for this state. Brian Johnson on 3rd and 8, over the middle, has his man, touchdown on that UCLA game on versus. Get a little bit. Froman drives this one 4 yards deep into the end zone. Aaron Brown's coming out with it. Brown bolting to the 21, and you heard this. Performing admirably in the opening half. Now Aaron Brown looks to respond in the 05 Southern Cal recruiting class. Dalton off the play action, now tucks it down and runs for his life. Dalton incomplete.
Well, the quickest thing is understanding the new language that they're going to be under. Every team has a different...
TCU came back with 14 unanswered, and then Utah has just jumped back to the lead. Aaron Brown slithering his way towards midfield. We'll see Air Force and New Mexico a week from today on Versus in Albuquerque.
To the position it's at right now.
They beat TCU when El Selden and Devin Moore had big days as that one is dropped. Sixth try on third down for the Horned Frogs, Glenn. Dalton comes underneath, it's intercepted! Picked off! And racing for pay dirt, Markel Burnett is going to go the distance.
Take a look. He's your defensive end.
Dead ball.
There he is.
Personal foul.
Kind of highlighted the wrong guy, but you got the idea. It's a defensive lineman right in the middle, dropping back right into the back, and not put the ball in his hands. Where he's 114th in the nation in kickoff return. Shows you they're not doing something right. This will help them.
Brock from the 15, across the 40, hesitates and then steps out of
Cool, and they're not getting anything. They possibly can get a field goal now before half.
Dalton puts it right on 5 wides in the pattern. Quickly and on time, and have displayed great accuracy in their careers. Dalton wants a little screen to come back, and then he flails it out of bounds.
That's what they talk about. He doesn't see everything yet.
Third down and 4. And his pass there is
going to be a running back there, but it's the same thing.
A first down throw for Andy Dalton. Flushed out. Zips it out there and on time. Get us up to date with the Mountain West Conference at the half. Still some work to do for the Horned Frogs. Dalton throws and completes. Nice job, guy on the team for Utah. Dalton sets his feet. Now gets loose. Throws one into traffic and it falls incomplete. And off the upright. TCU to take the football to start the third quarter. Vroman hits this liner. It's taken by Brock at the 11. With a gap, he gets
his game, having played poorly like Coach Patterson says.
On the ground, Aaron Brown starts things with a big gainer. Brown slash out of the offset eye. Andy Dalton with a play action. Dalton, his pass nearly picked off.
Find ways to win with him.
Ryan Johnson waits his first crack in the second half. Joe's one thing Patterson's been saying, it's been unseasonably warm here. It's been tough for the guys to get the legs back. There's a flag.
Ball start, number 70, the offense.
Here in Dallas, Robert Newhouse. 4th and 6, they'll go for it. Dalton puts it out there, and he has his man.
And that's the way you got to get them off. And usually they're good about understanding how to get off those plays.
Dalton runs the option and keeps it, Glenn. And Easting Box has to be pleased with the way they're moving the ball. Aaron Brown inside. Brown stacked up there. He was the Greater Houston Area Offensive Player of the Year in high school. Air Force in New Mexico. Here's that little counter play for Aaron. TCU showing Utah a little spread, and Dalton's going to keep it and get close to the 5 in the process. At the end of the first half tonight, positively, this one he drifts wide. He preseason favorites, both Utah and TCU, along with BYU to be among the...
Except there's always that occasional upset. Ask Michigan.
Ryan Johnson hands off for Durrell. The football for the Utes on 3rd and short. The inside handoff, and their referee late.
Number 85 of the offense.
In the third quarter, both teams not looking good on there so far.
TCU coming with a blitz off the edge, and then they... Utes on the road, on the lead, and this is a bomb from Sakota. From the 23, Bonner slicing through defenders. He's hoping to keep that smile on his face. Dalton off of the play action, and he is leveled. Season, he's healthy as a horse right now. Dalton will throw it. A short connection to Aaron Brown, basically of the long hand.
And best of luck on your journey this year.
Thank you so much.
You guys, send it back upstairs.
A leg whip, and we're going to stress again, that type of thing, you know, unfortunately it wasn't seen, and you got a leader of a player on TCU's team down on the sidelines right by the field position battle in the third quarter right now. They've got to get out of it if they're going to hope to continue their ways here.
Ryan Johnson past the midway mark of the third quarter. Laux is in there now, and Laux gets drilled. Former quarterback in his own right in his high school days. Johnson with plenty of time to throw. Good pocket around him. Now the protection breaks down, and he is... Sakota was terrific for the Utes a season ago in their win, and he hangs this one high, driving Bonner to the 31, where he is 5 wides in the pattern, and his pass is too tall. Text the number 1, 2, or 3 to the answer you think is correct, 837-787. Back to the live, 3 for 10 on third down conversions. There are 4 in the rush for the Utes. This is dumped out into the flat. Aaron Brown hauls it across the TCU. Hanging boot to Richards, who's waiting inside the 20. Takes it from the 15. Angles his way across the 30, and then 2 yards to the house for the big defensive lineman on the INT. Helping him out to go. TCU defense was talking about fundamentals this week, all that important. Johnson fires that one right on the mark for Marquise Wilson. Wilson across the 47.
Being produced by Utah right now. They're doing the right things in the right way.
Second in the Mountain West Conference. Darrell Mack. Hovering around 60 yards for the ball game. Wesson comes in motion again. This time they fake to him once the TCU defense. Richards to the far side of the field, and he was looking at...
False start. Number 16 of the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Ryan Johnson swings it out there. Mack had a half-dozen catches last to do it if they're hanging on to it like that. Ryan Johnson to throw. Deep. And that ball hovered, and it was an easy pick pop with interceptions. So he's got 5 in his last 11. Dalton runs the option with Brown, and Brown meets the tick down to the final 14 seconds of the third quarter. This throw is complete. You would imagine the standings, the conference schedule, going to be super tight down the stretch as Dalton keeps this one and breaks free. It was a 23-20 heart stopper in OT on this field. Dalton runs the option, and then the pitch for Brown. When you can back it up, you can do that. Dalton throws off the play action. And Aaron, elder statesman on this team, the senior's in his mid-20s. Dalton throws and hits that slant right on the button for Irvin Dickerson.
At half, they're making it easier on him.
14 minutes to go in regulation. On this delay, Dalton gets stacked back home from his wife, Misty, as he's got a touchdown to boot with all these tackles. Dalton has all day to throw. Checks down and finds Justin Watt.
Coaches don't know him as Irvin either.
So Timmy's got those chubby cheeks, I'll bet.
Yeah.
Justin Watts once again isolating against Mike Hugh. Brock in motion. Play action for Dalton to roll. Off the hands of Brock and onto the turf. Income back into the gun for the Utes. Darrell Mack. Out of the bunch formation. Straight ahead, power running to Air Force in dramatic fashion in overtime. Johnson throws it underneath to the big tight end there, Colt Sam. Tune in next time to play along with your team and your chance to win great prizes. Plasma TV for North Coast Offensive Player of the Year in Danville, California. Laux will keep this, and he gets dragged down.
Personal foul. Grasping the face mask. 98 of the defense. 15-yard penalty.
Darrell Mack comes in motion, Glenn. This is Brian Johnson out of the shotgun off the pump fake and go. Johnson gets flushed out. Looks for an open man. And now throws it off the hands, and thankfully they're missing 11 starters with injuries. Again, misdirection from Mack. Mack keeping the legs churning. They've won 5 in a row in Vegas.
Here they come right back with a plan. This time TCU was on it from the start.
Country punting and place kicking. This one is on the way, and it is right
there. A little play here and there that'll cost you a game. So they got to get back on track, get some field position, and get Andy Dalton.
In a big game with respect to the championship focus in the Mountain West. Dalton quickly
into this game. They have not run the ball effectively and possessed the ball. Therefore, his numbers aren't as contested and make them mean something.
All of a sudden, a flurry of numbers. Dalton, sidewinder, and this one is with 5 wides in the pattern. The blitz coming off the edge from McCain. Dalton connects with Watts. He lost for the season with that Achilles injury.
Stevenson, Sylvester, very fast, got good feet, he can cover and he can play.
Launched there over the head.
Let's get it together now and get us that ball back.
Wash has been punting well this year. In fact, Gary Patterson said if he was punting this well a season ago, they may not have lost those 2 games. Long time. Now the question is whether or not Utah can busy cat. Wesson comes in motion. They run that same play left. They run. Colt Sampson, who's a very good lead blocker, comes in motion. Johnson will throw it on the slant. It's juggled and incomplete. Dakota gets this one away from the 40. It's Bonner. And he's trapped.
Run the ball well because they've turned the ball over.
Dalton spun around and down in the game with 4.5 to go. Second and very long. Plenty of time to throw it. And he slots one in there quite nicely.
Gary Anderson for Utah right now, he has really done a good job with this defense in the second half.
Utes bringing McCain off the edge, and Dalton will throw this one away.
And he's certainly established himself as the #1 guy here.
The Tim only a $140 tonight. He'll add to his totals now. Off the handoff exchange.
You get your grip first. You don't worry about running until you've got your grip.
Dalton scrambling away from the pressure and throwing it wildly out of showing blitz. Empty backfield. Utah shows blitz. Dalton able to get it away while in the grass, and it's picked.
On the, they have been in a hole and they've come up big. They get pressure on Dalton. He throws the ball into a situation he shouldn't. Steve Tate comes.
He was the octopus draped all over Dalton, forcing that bad throw. And out to see whether Utah can hang on to this one. Darrell Mack beaten when he eclipses the century mark. Johnson on the keeper, flung to the turf for the return. Dakota hits this one high. In his tracks, it's Bonner from the 31. Bonner carving his way across the 40, and that's about all.
Firing joke.
But I'm bumped. Dalton nearly picked and then caught by Dickerson.
I'm there for you.
Parker Glenn and Beninati Joe. Dalton to throw. Sandwich in the backfield, just loops it to his bench there.
Roughing the passer. #1 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Not a little flair for the dramatic here with 2:40 to go in the fourth. Dalton throwing that little combination route for Dalton's made 4 big miscues. It's going to be hard to dig out from tonight. Over the middle for Massey, deflected. There's a 5th INT. It's the second of the night for Tate.
They're going to call pass interference, say that the defender got to
pass interference. #21 of the defense. This is
It's hard to see from that angle, but maybe on this second angle.
The Utes 24. Andy Dalton towards the corner. And running in coverage there was McKee. 2nd and 10. The quarterback, Dalton, has all day. Finds a secondary receiver. Out of the gun. Shuffling his feet. Dalton away from the pressure, and this is thrown away. The holders more. Manfredini's boot is on the way, and it's right. The kickoff man Combs sends it on the way. It's bouncing around. And the Frogs, Hawthorne comes out.
Close as I've seen. You cannot tell from that angle because he comes down.
Video review. The ruling on the field stands. First down, Utah.
On consecutive weeks, TCU in danger of falling for the 4th time this season as they wrap up Ryan. Play clock to 2. Johnson under center rolling. And in no particular hurry. Johnson, he wants to be tackled in bounds, and he will be. Bonner doing